Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and Doctor Strange is here, Tier 3, to shake shit up, to shake things up, baby. And yeah, he does not disappoint at all. So I want to do a not quite comprehensive, but I want to do an overview of my build for him, of what he gets at tier 3 and what you can expect from the character, because it's absolutely bonkers, and he's a very strong tier 3, and he does rival the big 3 of Thanos, Captain Marvel, and Jean Grey. But first, let's check out his tier 3 animation here when you tier 3 him. Opens up a portal. There he is, praying to Vishanti or something, or Ashanti, hoping for a new album. We see the very nice details of the Eye of Agamotto, and that's it. And it's pretty much the same for the other two uniforms. So, pretty nice tier 3 animation. In terms of his tier 3 stat boost, he gets about 4,000 more base energy attack. He goes from 8,000 to 12,000, which is pretty standard, pretty average. But his HP is really the big deal, and that is the indicator that I said I was looking forward to if he was going to be a threat again for PvP, because he doesn't have the HP to survive attacks from Captain Marvel's 4th skill, etc., unless he gets a huge HP stat bump. Well, he did. You can see I'm rocking 56,000 HP without a PvP build. Now, I do have 1 HP slotted on my uniform, but that's it. I could get another one. And then on my gear, I do have a bunch of 4-star partially awakened HP Uru, so it could definitely be higher. For his 4th gear, I have skill cooldown there, which I should probably look at changing in terms of just the overall build of the character. But we're still in the rank 500 because I tier 3'd him recently. As far as the rest of the build goes, I have most skills at level 6, some at level 3. He's got a rank 1 enhancement, which I do need to improve. He's got a fully awakened overdrive set because he doesn't need that much attack speed because of his 5th skill buffs. And then he's got a CTP of Authority, so this is a very defensive build, but no HP to be found. I might try playing around with the CTP of Regen now that he has such a bulky HP stat. His HP stat basically doubled, so he went from 19,000 to 38,000, or 20,000 to 38,000, something like that. So very much the kind of bulkiness that you would expect from a tier 3 Jean, except he doesn't revive. That's the only difference there. But how does his tier 3 skill, Images of Akon, how does it stand up? It's got crazy buffs. How fast does it charge up? Well, let's go ahead and find out. We're gonna jump into a world boss here. This is the one that I did last night on the stream, but it's so damn impressive that I have to do it again. This is a stage 40 Cull Obsidian with no strikers, and I believe it was no supports as well. But we're gonna take a look here. We're just gonna throw in 2 characters here. Let's throw in these guys. Let's just get the 5% all attack bonus. I think this is a good enough bonus for Doctor Strange. You know what? I think I actually did use supports. I think I'm lying. So it wasn't too crazy, but it's like this: 2 supports. We get the guaranteed crit from Coulson, but we're not going to use any strikers. So this is still quite impressive for a tier 3 to do a stage with 0 strikers, which means that he could go much higher with strikers, and it means that, you know, of course, with an offensive build like a CTP of Energy or CTP of Rage or some sort of damage proc, he's going to go even higher. So we're going to start it out. The general rotation is 4 cancel 3, cancel 2. You have to wait for his arms to kind of rise up. We gotta pop the 5 there, but then we get into the 6. As soon as you see the clones come out, you can cancel the 6th skill, and the damage is gonna start piling up. You can see that he's frozen, and he's also getting the all defense down, and it's ready again. So we just finished the tier 3 skill, and it's already back again, which is pretty wild. Pop the 5, and it's pretty much just a spam fest of tier 3 abilities. There's another 6. It's a lot. You get to do a lot of tier 3s, and it kind of flows nicely between the tier 3 and the 5th skill, to where you are almost never in danger of losing your health. Now, some people will say that you want to do 5 before 6 because 5 has such a massive boost in terms of the stat bonuses that you get for the crit and the all attack, etc. But I just want to get as many tier 3s off as possible, man. It just looks beautiful, and it's so much fun, and it's so much damage. And you can see the damage is very, very consistent. Those bands, those images of Akon start hitting, and it just whittles him down, sort of like Jean Grey's tier 3 skill, where it doesn't do a crazy burst of damage, but it's a consistently bar moving damage hit that would, you know, obviously probably very well suit a CTP of Rage, but we're gonna have to investigate that later, because right now I know a lot of you guys have Doctor Strange built for PvP. So take a look what a tier 3 PvP oriented Doctor Strange can do. It's quite impressive. You know, this means that with strikers, you could probably carry one character. I could probably swap Valkyrie for someone else, so I could be getting potential for, let's say, Mysterio. I could be getting, you know, I could be using a character that's required for the Stage 39 bonus. There's a lot going on here that he could do, still all the while maintaining a PvP build. And I don't know how disgusting he's going to be when he gets a PvE build, but we're going to have to wait and see, because, you know, it's just amazing. There's also some strategy to not doing 5 before 6, because it'll help you charge up your next 6 faster. That's a nice idea there, because you do get that really nice additional damage, or additional points. You get like almost 20, you get 20% added. So there you have it. In about 2 minutes and 45 seconds, less than 3 minutes, I would have cleared this with no strikers with a PvP build. And that's amazing. But now let's go and check out how he does in PvP, which is where we should shine even more. So for these tests, we're going to go up against the top PvP players in Vibranium, not necessarily the best players in all of PvP, but the ones that are most reasonably accessible. And we're going to use a standard PvP team. There's no team up bonuses here. We do have the debuff leadership from Jean Grey, but we're not using a team that, you know, is super favorable to Doctor Strange. We're not going to use some sort of Wasp victorious combination to get 40% extra HP. We're just going to use a team that you would see, and we're going to see just how basically Doctor Strange on his own can do, because he doesn't have any other buffs here to take advantage of. He just has the bonuses from, you know, having 3 6-star characters on your team and stuff like that. So he completely drops Jean Grey the first time around, which is pretty impressive. He has, you know, the time freeze. He has the buff stripping. And the buff stripping is really the powerful part here. Now, that was a dominant performance. It's not always that clean, but keep in mind, Doctor Strange can take away all of your buffs, not just one buff, all of your buffs with his second skill. And if he pops that off, you're in trouble. You're not going to be able to guard break immunity. Like, you're not going to be able to have guard break immunity. There's a lot that you can do. Now, he does struggle a little bit against Thanos, but if you can interrupt that 5th skill, you're going to be in a good position. But Thanos does give him some problems, which is pretty funny considering the you know, history that the two characters have. I was very close to killing him there. It's quite hard to play and talk at the same time, so I think if I wasn't talking, I could have killed him. I should have spammed 3 a little bit more. But I think Thanos... and I mean, this team, again, this is not a regular PvP team. This is a team just for Thanos, using Hela and Wasp for the extra damage against superheroes from Hela's uniform, and then the extra HP from Wasp. But that was a weird freeze there. But I think Thanos, and in some cases still Jean Grey, are probably the only characters that are going to give Doctor Strange a headache. He's obviously not perfect, but he is very, very good. And I would say he's better than Captain Marvel for PvP now. Not necessarily against Jean Grey, but just in general, he's probably as good, if not better. Now, we're probably going to die here because we got caught in Jean Grey's 5th skill. We did get caught. So this is good because it's showing kind of the limitations of Doctor Strange. I think after that first team that I completely annihilated, probably a lot of you guys were picking your jaws off the floor and wondering, like, what the hell we're going to do, how we're going to counter Doctor Strange. He's not invincible. If he gets caught in Jean Grey's 5th skill, he doesn't have enough HP, and he doesn't have enough survivability, even with a CTP of authority, because she does get penetration on her 5th skill. This is very annoying. Because she doesn't get penetration, because she does get penetration on her 5th skill, there's nothing Doctor Strange can do to hide from that. And then, you know, he just dies. He doesn't have enough HP to tank that hit. Pretty much, there's very few characters, maybe just Thanos and another Jean Grey that could tank Jean Grey's 5th skill. But other than some Thanoses and some Jean Greys, you're going to be pretty much set against everyone else. There's very few other characters that give you a problem. You You can even slot Doctor Strange in the leadership position to get some ignore dodge against Ant-Man. So there's really not much that he can't do. We're basically in the same situation that we were in before, but we're going to try to get out. If we didn't, wow. Okay, let's just skip this fight. Let's load it up again against a tier 3 Thanos team, and it is quite difficult to have Doctor Strange, you know, come in and fight right away without the skill cooldown, but I still think he does quite well, you know, regardless of that fact, irrespective of that. You just need to find the right combination of moves, and of course he completely incinerates a team without debuff, so that's always a possibility for you, but you can always just knock Captain Marvel out of her iframes, so there's basically nothing she can do. She's going to get 1 or 2 hits off on one of her skills, but really the reason why I think Doctor Strange is going to dominate pretty much every Captain Marvel now is because of the fact that you have, you know, the perfect counter kit. You have the first skill with the iframe ignore that's going to allow you to stop Captain Marvel from using her I'm dead. You're going to stop Captain Marvel from using her 4th skill. I'm not dead. And then you have the first skill that you can't cast because Jean Grey gets to go first all the time. Anyways, you have the first skill that allows you to drop her out of iframe, and then you have the second skill that allows you to strip her of her radiant form. So basically, there's not really much Captain Marvel can do against you, and I'm having maybe a slightly more difficult time showcasing that off because I'm dying a lot more than I was yesterday when I was playing with Doctor Strange. But he had a very good track record. I actually didn't die against any Thanoses in my 10 fights, and I actually fought them using my timeline team rather than fighting them as friendly battles. I lost against a couple of Jean Greys, but I didn't lose against any Captain Marvels, and I didn't lose against any Thanoses. It was pretty close now and then against Thanos, but if I can find a team with Captain Marvel in the lead, even with a Wasp, it'll be a much easier showcase. Actually, I want to try against the tier 3 Spider-Man. I'm not giving the best indication of Doctor Strange's battles and his power right now. So hit me up on Twitch if you want to see that in person, or just trust me that he's actually very, very strong for PvP. So we're gonna see here what happens. We're gonna try to pop our 5 as soon as we get a chance with an iframe. We're gonna keep iframe ignoring Spider-Man. He webbed us up, but we did get the kill on him. Try to pop 5 there. There we go. Dominating. Got the... Oh, she gets the 4 off. That's sneaky, but we did end up getting the kill there. Not a debuff team, so of course not the best possible showing for him, but let's go back and challenge one of the top teams again. Maybe this guy Brazzers, if he's got a debuff lead. Okay, he's got Wasp. This is a very strong team. We've got the 10% HP as well. So we've got pretty much everything that Doctor Strange, you know, doesn't need, or kind of doesn't help him to fight off these enemies. But we're going to see here. We get the kill. We're going to start with 5, which is nice. So we did get a bit of an advantage here. We're going to try to strip some buffs and then go right into the iframe ignore and then strip more buffs. Nice. We're going to pop 5 again. Going to try to... There we go. The 1-2 combo is very, very powerful for Doctor Strange. Knock Captain Marvel out of her iframe. Knock her out of her iframe. Pop 5. And then knock her out of her iframe. You don't even feel that rushed against a Captain Marvel, because if she's going to do her 5th skill, it's not an iframe, so you can use your 2nd skill immediately after she does 5 to really just completely, you know, just take it away, just completely strip it. Boom, it's done. She's out of radiant form after just a second, and then when she does her 3rd or her 4th skill, you just have to calmly tap 1 Rings of Ragador, and you'll knock her out of the skill, and she's not going to be able to do enough damage because she's constantly getting interrupted, and you're also going to be able to heal up for, what is it, 8% of your HP every time you use 10%, every time you use that 2nd skill. And just imagine, I think this is a suboptimal PvP build. This could be a better PvP build. I only have 57 or 58,000 HP. What if I gave him a CTP of regen, which I would imagine is the best PvP obelisk for him, because I don't think he needs the crit damage. He's killing them so fast. What if I upgraded those Uru to 5 stars, etc.? He is going to completely dominate Captain Marvel, and then he's going to be in a very nice I would say close to a three-way tie between Jean and Thanos. I still think Jean edges out Doctor Strange, you know, in 10 fights. I think Jean Grey is going to win at least 3 or 4 or 5 times, possibly more, depending on how lucky or unlucky you get with that 5th skill being dodged or not. But yeah, Doctor Strange, very, very powerful two-way character, tier 3 for both PvE and PvP, depending on the build. Is he going to be good enough for PvP with a PvE build? We're going to have to investigate that later, but I do think he's good enough for PvE with a PvP build. So let me know what you guys think of the Big Doctor, tier 3, and what you expect to see next on the channel. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. Hit me up on Twitch, join the Discord, and of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.